welcome back to this bumper edition of the Mini Challenge. We're in Zandvoort, we're into the second half of the third and final race of the weekend, and it's Shane Stoney we're riding car with, who's second in the Cooper class at the moment, behind Ricky Page. But as they flash through there, just would appear as if Ricky Page has possibly been given a drive-through penalty. So that could see Page eliminated from the lead of the Cooper class. In the race overall in the JTW class, Chris Smiley leads. This is valid for second. It's the black car, number 13, Jake Packen, just clear of the blue one of Lee Allen. And then we've got the first of the black cars in fourth. That's Lawrence Davey. Then it's Luke Cordell in fifth position, as Lawrence Davey gets all out of shape. And that's surely the opportunity for Cordell to pounce. Can he do it? Not quite. And Lawrence Davey doing very, very well to hold his ground. But what that has done now, though, is given a real separation to the battle for second and third, because what was a multi-car train is now a two-car train, and then a gap back to this four-way scrap. So they've got Mark Stewart just in behind them, and also Stuart Calder as well. So there's Mark Stewart, number 69, and rather helpfully, they're all black cars, but the first of them is Lawrence Davey. Then it's the black and yellow machine of Luke Cordell. Then we've got Mark Stewart, he's next along, and just behind them is Stuart Calder. So at the same time though, Jake Packen and Lee Allen can't slow themselves down too much in this battle for second and third position, because if they do, the cars behind are going to be poised to pounce very rapidly. So the race leader, Chris Smiley, accelerates over the start and finish line once more, and Smiley looking set possibly to win all three here this weekend at Zandvoort. Meanwhile, Jake Packen thinking about having to defend from Lee Allen. Allen closing up on the brakes, gets very, very tight, makes contact with Packen, tips him sideways, and that's the second time it's happened this race to Jake Packen. Same result, in that Packen was able to keep the car pointing more or less in the same direction, with Lee Allen in third. Of course, it was at Tarzan where James Hunt very famously, 1977, complained about Mario Andretti's overtaking antics, saying that you didn't overtake around the outside in Formula 1. And that rule quite clearly doesn't apply in the Mini Challenge, where they'll overtake every which way and wherever the gap presents itself. So the JCW battle for the podium positions continues as they sprint on towards Chevrolet. In the meantime, back to the battle for Cooper class honours. We can discount Ricky Page. He has got to serve a drive-through penalty, so essentially that makes Shane Stoney the leader of the race from Hamish Brandon. And that possibly explains as well why Stoney isn't really taking the challenge to Ricky Page. He knows he's got to go into the pit lane, and therefore he could just sit in behind Page, make sure that he keeps Hamish Brandon behind him. And of course, Stoney as well has got one eye on the overall championship standings as well. He came into the weekend in Commander proceedings. He's already had one class victory this weekend in the Cooper class. And the way that the championship works in the Mini Challenge is that the points in both classes count towards the overall championship. To the fight for second position, and Lee Allen looks to mount a challenge on Jake Packen. And Allen, after that move into Tarzan as well at the start lap, he clearly feels that he's got the pace over Jake Packen. It's just a case of being able to find a way through, and at the moment Allen has been unable to do so. So the pair of them coming towards the end of another lap, and there aren't too many minutes left on the clock here as they accelerate out of the Arrow line dive box, which of course most recently is probably where became known for where Peter Dunbrek had that monster DTM shunt a couple of years ago. So the last lap ball goes out to the drivers alongside the drive-through penalty board for Ricky Page. And this time Packen covers the inside line, and the Allen tries his luck to the outside into Tarzan. Obviously no way through there for Lee Allen, and Jake Packen just shows him where the grass is. Lee Allen runs over some of it and then rejoins the battle, and all the while though they're being reeled in by Lawrence Davey. Oh, and problems for Adrian Norman in the Team Scare Electrics car. So either the brushes have run out or something more substantial has gone wrong with the Mini. So he gets out of the car and into retirement. That's a real shame for Adrian, because he was looking as if he was going to be on course for a class podium then, and that would have been a really fine result for the driver, who actually in his day job isn't an executive at the Scare Electrics company. Lives and breathes racing cars as Adrian Norman, as Chris Smiley at the moment lives and breathes victory, because he's already had double Dutch this weekend with victory in the first two races. He is about to make it 3 from 3, and in terms of the JTW Championship, that really does put him in the box seat. Battle for second and third though is going to go all the way to the line. They are being caught here by Lawrence Davey and Luke Cordell, and you wouldn't put it behind either Davey or Cordell to challenge here, because Lawrence Davey, his background's in the Mini is in the Legends Championship, rather, where they're used to overtaking very, very frequently and often, the lead changing on the last lap, whereas Luke Cordell will challenge anywhere he possibly can to gain ground, but no luck through the LDS, so they are really running out of corners here, just 2 more to go. And Lee Allen will just be hoping maybe that Jake Packen has a wobble through this final sequence. That will then enable him to slipstream up to the checkered flag. In the meantime, though, accelerating through the final turn, the checkered flag is ready and waiting, and it's been a fantastic trip to Zandvoort for Chris Smiley. He makes it 3 from 3, the perfect weekend. What about the battles going on for the rest of the podium places? Packen takes second, Lee Allen in third, and Lawrence Davey just edges out Luke Cordell by a tenth of a second for fourth. Brilliant stuff, though, mini challenge racing in its very best. What about the Cooper class? Well, Ricky Page hasn't served that drive-through penalty, which I suspect is going to result in a visit to the clerk of the course's office. I guess he's decided he's going to win the race on the road and then argue his case afterwards. It means, though, that Shane Stoney is essentially going to be the winner in the Cooper class when all is said and done. So there is Stoney. He works through the LDS for the final time. Hamish Brandon is closing in on him, but can't actually do anything about picking his way past Stoney. That said, Stoney's advantage being such, he can't really afford that off. So it's going to be a race of mixed emotions here for Coastal Racing, because one of their cars, that of Shane Stoney, is going to win the class. The other, that of Ollie Walker, unfortunately is going home in more than one part. So they accelerate out of the final turn. Ricky Page wins it on the road, but he will have a penalty added, I have no doubt. So therefore the win goes to Shane Stoney. Hamish Brandon takes second, and it's Josh Gollin who completes the Cooper class rostrum. Yeah, what has been a thoroughly enjoyable race, and really a wonderful visit to Zandvoort for the mini challenge. The circuit perfectly suited to these mini challenge cars. So thumbs up from Shane Stoney. Handshakes all around for Chris Smiley. Job done once more. Perfect performance from him. Jake Packen and Lee Allen, a super scrap between the pair of them to complete the JCW and overall race podium. It's going to be quite a collection of trophies that Chris Smiley is going to be taking home with him. Of course, they've only got one more round to come now from Zandvoort. That is going to be at Donington Park. Of course, you'll be able to see all the action here on Motors TV in a few weeks' time. Have a look then at the final classification. Victory for Chris Smiley from Jake Packen and Lee Allen. Lawrence Davey in fourth, just from Luke Cordell, an excellent sixth for Mark Stewart. In terms of the class results then, JCW class, Chris Smiley wins it from Jake Packen and Lee Allen. And then into the Cooper class, it is Shane Stoney victorious from Hamish Brandon and Josh Gollin. A 30-second penalty applied to Ricky Page's race. In terms then of the overall championship standings, with Shane Stoney who leads the way from Hamish Brandon and Chris Smiley. There's still everything to race for, though, at Donington Park, and Jake Packen also arguably in the mix. So on to the rostrum, Josh Gollin, Hamish Brandon and Shane Stoney in the Cooper class. And once more, 20 litres of Sunoco fuel for the class winner. Presentation of the trophies and the champagne. After the hard weekend's racing, they can finally afford to relax on the Zandvoort podium. Round of applause from all the mechanics down in the pit lane and in Parc Ferme as the drivers pose for the cameras, and also, in the case of Hamish Brandon, maybe just begin to get to work with the champagne cork as well. So podium festivities almost completed for the Cooper class, as on to the top step of the podium for the JCW class, Chris Smiley. He shares it with Jake Packen and Lee Allen. It's one more meeting to come at Donington Park. It promises to be a thriller, but for now we'll say goodbye from Zandvoort. We'll see you in a couple of weeks' time.
Anthony, is this always the same at the mini challenge?
Absolutely, they all like to